Okay, Hussein. So in the last session, we just understand, you know,
Hi,
uh,
Sam.
we just understood about the theory of this OSPF. Okay, the basic fundamental of the OSPF. We discussed about that yesterday in the last session. So many other, you know, beauty of OSPF is still pending that we'll discuss about that in upcoming, in upcoming sessions. Okay,
Yes, sir.
in upcoming sessions. So before that, we have to do for the some some configuration first. Okay. By the way, OSPF is area-based routing protocol. That is link state routing protocol. We call it the link state routing protocol. And come here, there is no limitation of the router. Unlimited router we can use. Okay. And many things like area and LSA messages are pending still. That we'll discuss about that after this session. Okay. So So in this scenario, today we are going to do, single area, OSPF configuration and the multi-area OSPF configuration. Okay.
Okay, sir.
After that, I will discuss you after the practice. I will discuss you about that. What is the value of area and what kind of different router we are having, different areas that we are having. Okay.
Okay.
After practical, if I explain, you'll be understand better. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So So all this network is part of area 0 with the process ID 100. Okay, and this is the router ID. And in the last session, we are complete. We learn about that, right? How many
Yes,
what is the
16.
value? What is the that one the router ID? How many ways? First performance to give the router ID command. Like manually, we can assign the router ID. Okay. Second, if you are not assigning router ID, okay, so second preference it will choose the router ID, the highest loopback interface. Okay,
Yes, sir.
highest loopback interface. The third one, we preference give to highest physical IP address. Okay, third preference is giving to highest physical IP address. Second preference is given to highest loopback interface configuration on the router. Loopback is a virtual interface that will be create. Okay,
Okay, sir.
got it. Okay, so
Yes,
all
got it.
these three we will configure today. So let's suppose this is our router one. Okay, so enable configuration terminal, basic interface configuration interface, a serial 0 by 1 by 0. Okay, IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown, right?
Yes.
After that, what is the next
Fast
interface?
Ethernet 0
First
by
of all,
0.
no IP domain lookup. Let me do that. First lookup. Okay, and the interface what? Second
Fast
personal 0
Ethernet
by 0 and IP address 172.168.1.1 and 255.255.0.0 and no shutdown I'm using. Okay,
Yes.
that's it. After that, we have a three network into this. So after that, we have a three network here. Okay, enable configuration terminal, no IP domain lookup. Okay, an interface serial 0 by 0 by 0, an IP address 192.168.168. 1.2.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. That we have another interface serial 0 by 0 by 1, and IP address is a 192.168. Which IP?
2.
2.1, 2.1, 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. After that, we have one more interface that is a fast Ethernet 0 by 0, IP address 172.170.0.1, 255.255.0.0 and no shutdown. That's it.
Yes.
All three is done. And after that, we'll have to assign in the last enable configuration terminal, no IP domain lookup. Interface serial 0 by
Serial.
0 by 0 by 0, IP address 192.168.2.2, 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. After that, we have one more interface, fastnet 0 by 0 IP address
190.
172.18.0.1 not 190,
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
255.255.0.0 and no shutdown, right? So all is done. Interface basic IP address configuration has been done. Now we can do OSPF configuration. So what is the command to configure the OSPF? So this is our syntax: router OSPF, then process ID, then router ID. That we can do the manually. All we can do that, network ID, wildcard mask, area. Okay. So network ID, wildcard mask, and area number. Okay. So let's start. So configuration terminal and router OSPF. Okay, so what is the next? Router OSPF process ID. So process ID you can use from 0 to means 1 to 60, 65,000, um,
35.
65,535. Okay,
Yeah.
so router OSPF I'm using in router OSPF. Then after that there is a process ID. It is asking 65,535. So I'm using area ID as a 200, or I'm using as a 100 only. Okay. After that
Okay.
what? After that it is asking for a
ID.
network number. So we, how many networks we have? 192.168.1.0. Okay, after that it is asking for OSPF wildcard bits, wildcard mask, it means to say, it means, right? So what is the our
Yes.
subnet value for the slash 24?
0 dot.
255.255.255.0,
Yeah,
right?
200.
So instead
Yes.
of that we can assign 0.0.0 dot
0
and
dot
255,
2.
right? After
Yeah.
that what we have to do? Area, which area 0. Why especially I'm using area 0, I will let you know after this session. Okay, after this practical. So area 0.
Okay.
Okay, another network which I'm using, 172.1.16 dot which IP, and 0.0, right? So here
Yes.
0.0, and here instead of 255.255
250.
area 0 means, in this with this
Last one.
router there is two networks,
Yes.
192.168.1.0, another is 172.160.0. Okay, so both the network I'm keeping in a area 0. Okay, got it? Then router
Yes.
ID,
Got it.
we can assign 1.1.1.1 manually. I assign. Okay, so take effect, reload or use clear UPSP process, because already I have done that OSPF now, so that is the reason it will not take. It is asking to clear the OSPF process, then only it will take the router ID. Now it will check, it will access 192.168.1.1 as a router ID here. Okay.
Okay.
So instead of keeping like this, I will do, this will be the router ID, highest interface IP it will choose, and here we can use manual. Okay, like 2.2.2.2, we will use 2.2.2.2. Got it?
Yes.
So now that is done. Now we can come in the next one, router OSPF. Okay, router OSPF IP routing is a command to enable the routing, but without that also, because by default routing is enabled in the router, so we no need to do. Then router ID, um,
Router IOSP.
router OSPF, and router OSPF process ID. Process ID is at 100 for all,
200.
100, and area router OSPF. That's it. And router ID, I'm using 1.1, 2.2.2. I'm using, okay, 2.2.2.2. Okay. Then after that,
Okay.
what we have to do? Network. And how many networks? 192.168.1.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0. Okay. Area 0 I'm using. Okay.
Okay.
And after that, we have one more network, that is a 2.0. So the default will be our 2.0. Okay. 2.0 is there.
Yes.
And after that, network network
172.
172.117.1, just a minute, huh?
Okay, sir.
172 dot 172.17.0 dot 0.0 and 0.0.255.255, right? correct? After that,
Yes.
area 0. So all network has been configured here. And here I will create one loopback interface. Okay. So for that, I will show you. So system interface. So IP interface. Okay. So IP interface brief. So this is the command. If you check, there is a limited some, from Ether, some serial port is there. Some fast
Yes.
Ethernet ports are there. Okay. And this is a by default VLAN interface is also available into the router. So there is no loopback. Okay. So go to the configuration terminal and assign one IP interface loopback one. Loopback is a virtual interface that I'm going to create. Okay. There is no physical interface available. Okay.
Okay. Like
So
VLAN.
IP, yeah, interface brief. So if you check now, you'll get this new
VLAN.
loopback one. Okay, from in this loopback also you can assign the IP. So let's suppose I'm assigning configuration terminal interface loopback one IP address. Here I'm using 3.3.3.3 and 255.0.0.0. So 3.3 is a very small I will
Yes.
show you. So
Classic.
now you can go with the configuration terminal and the router OSPF area process ID will be a 100, and then we are not assigning any router ID. Remember, okay? So automatically it will choose the lowest, the loopback interface IP. Okay, router OSPF 100, and that then network will be a 192.168.2.0 network and 0.0.0.255 area 0. Another network is a 19, right? 192, not 172 dot 19.0.0 and 0.0 dot 255.255, right? Area 0. So that's it. So all our, this is an 18, right? Not 19, correct? That I need to
Yes.
change. Configuration terminal, router OSPF 100, and the network will be a 9. Instead of 19, I need to assign as a 18 here.
No,
It,
no, sir. 189.
no network, and here I need to change this 180. Done. So IP interface brief. Okay, so 3.3 we assign the IP into this loopback, and 172.1.192.162.2. These are the interface. So OSPF has been configured and to verify how many network it is maintaining in so IP OSPF. So IP OSPF, if you check which process ID it is using, 100 which we assigned the 100, right?
Yes.
Manually we did the OSPF 100, right? With the router
Yes, sir.
ID 192.168.1.1 router ID. Router ID.
Yes, first one.
Here 192.168.1.1 is the highest interface IP, right? So that's the reason it is selecting as a router ID to the highest interface IP. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you check into this router, it will use 2.2.2. If you check into this router, it will use loopback 1 IP by default. Okay, so
VLAN.
that I will show one by one. So that is the router ID. After that, um, support only single routers. Support LSA. So SPF schedule, SPF. You know SPF's 10 seconds, minimum LSA
Yeah.
interval 5 seconds, and these are the things that we will cover in upcoming sessions. So I'm just showing you now about the process ID and the router ID, okay, into this command. So after that, we have what? So router, so IP route, so IP route OSPF, never. So IP route OSPF, so IP route, so IP OSPF, never. So how many tables it is maintaining? 3 table it is maintaining, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
neighbor ID is a 2.2.2 for this one. This is a router ID for this router.
Okay.
So for this router, it is directly connected. So neighbor will be 2.2.2 only. Okay. So that is the reason it is showing as a 2.2.2 as a neighbor ID. Okay. And priority is a 0 means directly connected. State is a fully. And the neighbor ID is 192.168.1.2. The next hop for this router, this is a 1.1, 192.168.1.1 of this interface. But this router is connected with the 192.168.1.2. We assigned IP into this, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
here it is showing neighbor table, okay, via serial 0 by 1 by 0. After neighbor, there is a database table. So in the database, if you check 192.168.1.1 is available, 2.2.2 router ID is available, and 3.3.3 is
Robust
also
also.
available. Okay. So what I have informed yesterday in database table, it is keeping all the possible path or entire topology detail into their memory, right? So
Yes.
IP OSPF database. So router link state area 0. All the networks are in area 0, right?
Okay.
And there
Yes.
is total three networks are there in every net, like 192.168.1.1. These are the advertisement router. 2.2.2, that is the router ID. 3.3.3 is also a router ID, right? So it
Yes.
is, this is not directly connected with this router, but still this router is having the last router detail. Okay. So how did they receive? There is this, they're sending hello packet between them. So I will show you what is the hello packet and what are the details is available. So wait for some time. So now HTTP packet is going. After HTTP, we can, these are the packet type. Okay, it device, which device? Like switch router, switch router. So this is the OSPF packet. Okay, in every 10 seconds they're sending. So what are the details is there? If you check, so layer 1 port serial 0 by 0 HDLC frame 224 source IP, and this is the hello packet. Okay, OSPF hello packet. Got it? Here everything
Yeah.
is showing. At device router 1, source router, and destination 224.0.0.5. This IP they're using, right? Multicast, correct? So after that, we have a IP header, source IP 192.168.2.1, destination IP 224.0.0.5. OSPF is this is a hello packet. Okay. If you wanted to know more about that, then you can go to that inside of this packet, and you'll get it. Packet length, router ID it is showing, area ID it is showing. Okay, checksum is there, authentication is there, but there is no authentication. Okay, network mask, router interval, and the destination router, backup designated router, and neighbor. It is 3.3.3. So this is the route OSPF hello packet. All these details are available inside the packets. Okay. So when it is a when it is in serial cable, or the packet will be in the layer 3, layer 4, layer 5. This is layer 1 of the OSI, and this is the layer 7 of the OSI, right? We learned about
Yes, sir.
this, correct? So
Okay.
these from inbound packet, you can go and understand what are the packets inside of this. Okay,
Okay.
what is checksum, what is authentication type, everything that we will get to know slowly. Okay,
Okay.
so after
So,
that, yeah, tell me.
224 dot that
0.0.5.
ID. Yeah, 0 dot. Yes. Yesterday also like in a
Yeah,
default IP.
no, 224.0.0.5. Here it is using for here it is mentioned
Yeah.
now. Update are sent through multicast. Hello packet is sending through multicast IP, that is 224.0.0.5. That only this device is using, right?
Okay. Like loop back.
No,
127 0 dot
no,
0
no,
5
no,
like
no,
that.
no, not like that. Here we have some packet, right?
Yes.
In how many second they're exchanging their routing table in OSPF? In 10 seconds, right? In every 10 seconds they are
Yes. 10
sending their.
second.
So by sending, they are not like if you are in your home and you want to go to your college, okay, or your office, you need to use you'll go via bike, right? Let's suppose you are having your own vehicle. So let's suppose you are having a two wheelers. So you need to go from so like bike you are using. Inside bike
Yeah.
you are using the petrol, right? You cannot
Yeah.
reach directly by flying from your home to the office, right? You
Yes.
need to invest some energy. So energy and some resources. So resources is nothing but your bike, and energy is nothing
Petrol.
but is a fuel. Okay. So like that,
Okay.
hello packets in every 10 seconds they are sending. Neighbor ID, area ID. Okay. How many details are there in the hello packet? Yesterday we discussed about that. So these are the
Correct.
details that we already discussed, right? Area ID,
Right.
router ID, authentication, timer, network ID, subnet neighbor router ID, everything, whatever that I have mentioned, everything they are sending to each other, right? So if you check,
Yes.
still go to the simulation, start this, and if you check the OSPF, so for in OSPF, go to the inbound, okay? So in inbound, all these details, source IP, destination IP, and the OSPF hello. This is the OSPF hello. So how many packet length? Router ID is there, which I have already mentioned. Router ID, RID is router ID, okay. And after that, area ID is there. So area ID is also there. Router ID and router ID, neighbor, subnet, AID. AID means area ID, okay. After that, what is the third? Checksum and authentication is there. So authentication is there, okay. AUTH authentication details is also there. And after that,
Yeah.
what? Um, After that, network mask is there, means subnet mask is there, right? Router
Yes, sir.
interval 14 and designated. This is the timer. Hello interval. Okay, everything is available here. Whatever I have informed inside of hello packet, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the way how to identify the things. So let's suppose this hello packet, all the details is there in this. This is the hello packet and all the details like router ID, area ID, authentication, and many other details are there. So some energy required here, okay, some resource required here to send this packet from this router to this router or this router to this router as well in the vice versa from here to here and here to here, right? So by
Yes.
using 224.0.0.5 only, they will send their hello packet, okay. They cannot blindly send by using anything. They will use only 224.0.0.5 for at the time of sending the hello packet, okay.
Okay, sir.
In the same way, we have a 255.255.255.25 in the RIP. They are doing the broadcast to the hello packet, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that is the same way.
Okay.
So now we did that our OSPF configuration. So IP I'm just going to assign 192.168 dot 192 not
0.2.
192.168 dot not 192
0.1.
172.160.0.2,
Yes.
right? 172.16.0.1 will be the gateway, okay. So that's it. And this side desktop, this is 17.2. So here we'll need to assign as a gateway the 17.1,
Yes.
and this side we can use as a 18. I'm assigning IP address onto this
Yes.
18.0.2, right?
Yes. 18.1.
18.1, okay. So if you ping from here to here, ping 192.168.1.2, we are able to reach. And
Yeah.
if you ping 2.1, you can able to reach. You can ping 172.162.2 also, you can ping 2.2. So you will be able to reach from R1 to
Yeah.
R3. And if you ping 192.168, not 192, that 172.1.8, ping 172.1.8.0.0
180.
dot 0.1. So we are able to reach, and
Yeah.
0.2 also we are able
2.
to reach. So here 18.0.2 only assigned, right? So here
Yes,
also
sir.
we will be able to reach. Here
Yeah.
we are able to reach, right? Our
Yes, sir.
reachability is there. So by using OSPF, all are in where? All are in there in a same area 0, right? So
Yes, sir.
now instead of keeping area configuration terminal, now what we will do? this interface, this interface and this interface will be part of area 0, but the local area network will be the part of a different network. So let's suppose I'm using, I will keep this
Okay.
172.168 in area 1, and I will keep here in area 10. Okay, and I will use this 172.168 in area 20. Okay,
Okay.
so what will be the difference between them? So that after that I will explain you. Okay, so router OSPF 100, that is the process ID. Okay, so now network which network 172.16.0.0. Okay, and 0.0.255.255.0 only, 255.255
No.
only we given, right? And area, it was the part of area 0, correct? It was part
Yes.
of area 0. So now
Yes.
I am removing it. Okay, no.
Okay.
Okay, and now what I will do, I will keep it in a part of area 1. Okay, so no, instead of no, I remove this no option, and instead of area keeping in area 0, I'm using as a 1. So now this will become a part of 172.168 will become a part of area 0. But if you check, still the 192.168 1.0 will be the part of area 0 only. Okay, so in the same
Okay.
way, I have one another network, that is the
Mhm. Right.
enable enable configuration terminal, a router OSPF 100, and the network 172.17.0.0 and 250.0.0.255.255 area. It was also part of area 0, right? It was a part
Yes.
of area 0, correct? So I'm just doing this. No, I'm just removing from the area 0. Instead of area 0, I'm keeping it in area 10. Okay,
Yes.
done.
Okay.
Got it. Now we will keep it in this area also. Enable configuration terminal. So show IP OSPF. Do show IP OSPF. I will show you. So how many networks are there and everything it will be. So here, I just a minute. I guess. So IP route OSPF. So in OSPF, there is a 172.1.6 and 1.7 are there, right? It was earlier.
Yes.
So now O means OSPF. Okay. IA means inter area, means different area. It is coming from the different area. So I will show you configuration terminal router OSPF. Which network we are having? 1.8, right? So
Yes.
router OSPF 100, and the network will be 172.18.0. 0 and 0.0.255.255 areas. Area it was 0, right? It was a part of
Yes.
area 0, right? So I removed it,
Yes. Yes.
and instead of keeping in the 0, I am keeping as a
20.
20 and network, and done. So now if you check show IP route OSPF, so here 18, where is the 18?
No.
171 into 168.1.0, it came from the OSPF. I'll show you. Okay, wait for a minute. So now if you check, so IP route OSPF. Okay, so this 172.1.7 is not directly connected, right? This is the part of this area 0, right? Area 10, correct?
Yes.
172.1.7 and 172.1.8 is a part of this router, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So here if you check 192.168.2.0, 2.0, where is the 2.0? 2.0 is part of area 0 only, right? So that is the reason
Yes.
it is showing as a OSPF. But if you check about the 172.1.7 and 1.8, it is showing as a IA. IA means inter network, inter area. Okay. O
Okay.
means OSPF, I means inter, A
Yes.
means area,
Area.
means different area. The network has come from the different network, different area. Okay. But this
Okay.
2.0 is a part of area 0 only. Okay. So like that, so IP OSPF neighbor. So if you check the neighbor 2.2 is still 2.2, and so IPOSPF database. So database will become now if you check earlier there was a single because all are part of area 0, right? Before
Yes.
that, now there's an area 1, area 1 and the area 2, and
Yeah.
area
Zero.
1, area 10, and area 20 is there. But here, if you check, it will show in area only 192.168.1.1. For others, for the other one, okay, just a minute. So here, area 0. So 192.168, these are about the router ID. Okay, this is also router ID, and summary net link, state link. These are the only LSA, router link state. Okay, and router link state. If you check 192.168.1.0, 2.0, 17.0, and 18.0, on it is not showing. Like 16 is the own network, right?
Yes.
16 it will
16 is
not show
on.
because it's the own network. Okay, so now it is showing as a 17 and 18, but it will not show about their own local area network. Okay, got it? So this is about the database and the so IPOSPF routing table. So IPOSPF, in neighbor is done, database is done, and the interface. So
Routing table.
IPOSPF routing table is not showing. Border router and database interface, serial brief loopback gigabit, but no need to do. So IPOSPF interface. If you check like this also, it is fine. But so IPOSPF, so IP route only, that is enough. So IP route or so IP route OSPF only. Okay, so IP route OSPF. So it will show the entire routing table. Okay. So uh so this is directly connected network. This is the internet network connected, and this is the OSPF. Okay,
Yes.
2.0. So like that we have to be configured in the same way. Here if you check, so IP route, so IP OSPF neighbor. Okay. So IP OSPF 3.3 and 192.168.1.1 both are the neighbor because two neighbors are there, left and right, right? Two different networks are connected.
Yes.
So here for this middle router, it will be the two different networks. So if you check about the
Yes.
database here, it will show it will not show about the 17 now because 17 is directly connected. Here it will show 16 and 18
Yeah.
only.
One network.
Okay, so on network it
Yes.
will not show, and the link is a 2.2, 172.168.1.7 and 1.8 is the link ID. But if you check the router ID for the neighbors, that is the one highest network interface IP is the router ID, and 2.2 and the loopback interface which we assigned, that is a router ID. Okay, so like that
Okay.
we have to configure in a different manners. Okay, so let's suppose this 172.1.16 will be pinged to 172.117 or not. So ping 172.17.0.2. This is the 172.17.0.1 or 0.2, right? So it is reachable now, correct?
Actually, this screen blank. Sir. I
Let
mean
me.
stuck.
Okay, now is it fine?
No. Yeah. Now fine. Sir.
Okay, so if you ping from here about what, ping 172.18.0.1. So we are able to reach. If you ping from one, we are able to reach, right? So if I keep this router as a different part, okay, this is in a different part, correct? This is not a part of area 0. So
Yes.
configuration terminal now 192.168.1.0 is a part of area 0, right? So router OSPF 100 process ID. To modify, I need to come first in the router OSPF 100. Okay. And after that, network 192.168. Which one? 1.0 and 0.0.0.255 and area which the part of area 0. It was a part of area 0, right? So now I'm just
Yes.
keeping as a no network, and And after that,
Actually,
I'm
again,
keeping
stuck, sir.
again stuck.
Screen.
Let
Yes.
me show you once again. So if is it visible now?
Yeah, now visible.
Okay, so it was a part of area 0 that I removed now. Now I will keep as a area 11, okay, not area 0 for this 192 168. Okay, so now I did this. And again, in invalid mismatch area ID from loopback area must be virtual link but not found from 192.168.1.1. Okay, so it means this router will become a part out of the the area,
Yes.
because this router is there is two interface in this router, that is 0 by
Yes.
0 and serial 0 by 1 by 0. Okay, but both the interface is not part of in area 0, right?
Yes.
So to become a part, or to become establish the communication between other routers in the OSPF routers, one interface must be connected with the area 0. Without connecting area 0, you cannot reach to other OSPF neighbors, or you cannot be establish the route neighborship as well. Okay, without connecting area 0. Area 0 is nothing but it's a backbone of our body. Okay,
Okay.
so like
Yeah.
that. So what there is a two type of area, mainly two type of area. The first one is the area 0. Area 0 is nothing but is a backbone area also we can call, and the regular area, except 0, 1, 2, 3 up to whatever. Okay, that will become our regular area or non-backbone area we can also call. Okay, so
Okay.
area 0, without connecting of area 0, our router will not become a part of any OSPF. Okay, it should be connected with the area 0. If it is not directly connected, you need to create a virtual interface from this router to the area in between the router and the area 0 router. Okay, so then it will be
Okay.
they will establish the communication within. Okay,
Okay.
that is the one part. And other area router, other areas are also there, like area border router, ASBR, okay, and ABR, that we will discuss by tomorrow. Okay, so today we have
Okay, sir.
completed about single area and multiple area of how to configure in the OSPF, along with backbone area like area 0 and other non backbone area also. We understood about the value of that. Okay,
Yes, sir.
just go through with this video. If anything doubt, you can just ask me tomorrow. Okay, na?
Yes, sir. Definitely.